Well, once again, it's time for Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. Are you ready for weird, eerie, startling tales from Web of Mystery? Well, I hope you are, because you're gonna get 'em. Oh, yes. Turns out this is the second issue of the series, as I completely forgot I'd already done number 1. Oh, my. Yes, it's rather disturbing, the way memory just evaporates. Oh, look, this fellow is having a worse day of it as he sees himself in a coffin. But I'm not dead. I can't be. Don't they see I'm standing right here? Well, you're probably a ghost, you idiot. Well, that tale, and then the Lorelei of Loon Lake, and Legacy of the Accursed, and other strange tales. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get to it. Oh, look, it's Lorelei of Loon Lake. I used to laugh at talk of the supernatural, of strange, bizarre happenings, of mysterious forces beyond human ken. I thought they were the product of warped, superstitious minds. There had to be a cold, logical explanation for everything. Yeah, I thought. But not anymore. Now, when such talk comes up, I fall into a dread silence and slink away, since that weird experience, that last night of my vacation at Loon Lake Lodge. At midnight, hoping a cold plunge in the lake would rid me of that strange restlessness that had been keeping me awake, anyone care to join me for a dip? It's Roy Lynn. I thought you went to bed an hour ago. I wouldn't go near that lake again for $1,000,000. The other night, there was a kind of undertow, like hands dragging at my ankles, trying to pull me down and down and down. I'd heard him the first time. Anyway, poor Luke Brown was the timid type who was always seeing, hearing, and feeling things in the dark. His scary talk made me laugh. What was there to be afraid of? I'll bring you back a water sprite for a pet, Luke. Kind of a quiet, spooky night at that. Chilly, too. Maybe it is foolish to go swimming alone on a night like this. Shivering and filled with unexplainable uneasiness, I was just about to return to the lodge when a woman's voice echoed through the moon-white night from the direction of the water, calling my name. Roy! Reassured at the prospect of company for my swim, I continued on down to the bathing pier, only to find it deserted. But that voice calling me, whoever was here must have left in a hurry, unless it was just my imagination. I'm getting as bad as Luke. That water sure looks cold and forbidding. Better get this over with fast. As I cut down through the darkness, too late I saw a partially submerged log in the glittering water. My head struck it. A million bells started going in my ears. Brilliant lights flashed before my eyes. Semi-conscious, I felt myself sinking into the murky depths of the lake, the softly eddying water closing around me in a death embrace. Sprawled helplessly on the lake bottom, I was unable to move, but still partly conscious, through the eerie underwater glow, I saw a beautiful girl, a stranger, swimming toward me. Don't be afraid, Roy. I'll save you. Huh? I knew that It's impossible to talk underwater, yet I distinctly heard her. When she took my hand and helped me up, some uncontrollable power seemed to force me to obey her commands. And it was in my shorts.
Come with me, Roy Lynn. I'll save your life if you'll do a favor for me in return.
Yeah, okay. I felt that this couldn't be happening. This must be some semi-conscious dream following my head injury. Still, I was filled with a nameless dread as she led me toward an underwater cave.
This is my home. Don't be afraid, Roy. You'll be safe here. But be careful. Don't get your foot caught in the roots.
Inside this dark cavern there was a dank tomb-like stillness. There was a strange glow over everything. My pulse was pounding with fear of what might be ahead. I felt as though I were about to learn some dread and timeless secret which I wanted to know, yet I was afraid. Who are you? How do you know my name? What is this all about? You can't possibly live in this awful place. No human could.
My name is Lola. I can't answer all your questions, Roy. There are some things it's better you never know. Perhaps I do not even know myself. All I can tell you is that I've been waiting for someone to come. I need help.
There was a sad, haunting tone to her voice as she showed me around her cave home. There was a nightmarish quality about all that was happening, but at the same time, I somehow sensed that it was not a dream.
It's quiet and peaceful, and I'm happy here, down under the water of the lake, Roy. Except for one thing. I can't sleep. I'm so terribly tired. I must sleep, but I can't unless you will help me. Something's preying on my mind. If I can't get it off, I'll rest peacefully. Oh, if I can get it off, I'll rest peacefully. I'm worried about Andy. When you leave here, Roy, you've got to find him. Give him a message from me, and then perhaps I'll be all right.
I watched her remove a ring carved into the shape of a miniature skull from, her finger. I was will-less, unable to resist, as she slipped the macabre-looking ring onto my own hand.
This ring will prove to Andy that you've really seen me, and he'll know that the message is true.
This is insane. Andy who? What's his last name? Where will I find him? My constant questioning seemed to upset her, and she couldn't answer me. All she said was,
"Find Andy and tell him that Lola forgives him, doesn't blame him for what happened. Tell him that I'm happy and at peace. You've got to do this for me, Roy, without further questions. If I don't get you out of here soon."
As her words trailed off threateningly, I quickly agreed to do what she said. She smiled and seemed satisfied. Without another word, she led me to the mouth of the cave and out into the water again. Lola, wait! Don't leave me out here alone. I'll drown.
Goodbye, Roy.
Suddenly, my lungs seemed about to burst. Something seemed to explode in my head. I forgot about Lola and the strange things that had happened, and I had only one thought: to fight my way to the surface and breathe again. That was a close call. Another few seconds down there, and I'd have been a goner. Already Lola and the underwater cave were beginning to fade and become confused and unreal in my mind. I told myself that it had all been a dream fantasy resulting from the blow on the head I'd received when I struck the floating log. I dried myself off and hurried back to the lodge.
Hey, that was some swim you took last night, Roy. You must have met a beautiful mermaid not coming back for 24 hours.
Don't be silly. Roy couldn't have been down at the lake since last night. He must have come in the back way last night and gone out the same way again tonight for another swim. Isn't that right, Roy? Their laughing words changed the marrow in my bones to ice. What were they talking about? I couldn't have been gone 24 hours. It was the same night. It had to be. I started to tell them about what had happened, but something seemed to stop me. Yes, I guess it was something like that. My horrified gaze swept to the wall calendar. I saw that they were right. It was on Wednesday, the 13th, that I had left this room and gone down to the lake for the late swim. I went to my room, sick with worry, my head throbbing. The bizarre events that had happened kept returning to my mind. I paced the room, convinced that my brain had been seriously injured when my head struck the floating log. Determined to see a doctor in the morning, I flung myself on the bed for a last smoke before falling into an exhausted, nightmare-ridden slumber. Bright and early the next morning, I visited the office of the only local doctor, a worried-looking man only a little older than myself. "Dr. Manning?" "Yes. Yes, sir. Come right in." Briefly and calmly as possible, I related to him all the events of the night at the lake. Right from the first, I noticed that his professional calm was ruffled. He was visibly disturbed by my story. "But that's preposterous, Mr. Lynn. I'm afraid you're suffering from hallucinations. I'll make arrangements for tests and skull x-rays." His words jammed in his throat as I removed the ring Lola had given me and showed it to him. He gave a choking, strangled cry of recognition. "My medical school fraternity ring! The one I gave Lola! No! No!" This is too much. I thought at first your story was some kind of hoax, but now I know it can't be. You see, my first name is Andy. I'm the one Lola was talking about. She was wearing that ring the night that she disappeared 10 years ago. Dr. Andy Manning told a strange story. He and Lola Walters had been engaged. They had quarreled violently one night over Andy's postponing their marriage until after his internship was up. For several days, Lola was despondent, and Andy was too stubborn to give in. He never saw her again. She went swimming one night at the lake with a group of friends. She went out too far. Someone heard her cry out, but she never came back. It was never known whether she drowned or swam back to shore at some point and then disappeared. They dragged the lake looking for her all that week. Nothing was ever found. As time went on, I tried to forget her, but I couldn't. I've worried about what really happened to her. I felt guilty that it was all my fault. If I hadn't been such a stubborn fool. Lola told me that it wasn't your fault, Doc. You can stop torturing yourself now. Yes, if what you say is true. But is it? How could it be? I'm not sure, but somehow I think that it is. How else did he get the ring, Anyway, we decided that there was only one way of finding out. Together, we went to a sporting goods store and purchased a pair of diving helmets. These ought to do the trick. Maybe we'd better forget the whole thing, Doc. What? I couldn't talk him out of it. Dr. Manning said he'd never rest until he'd checked on my story. So an hour later, we were prepared to descend together into the cold, secret waters of the lake. In the murky shadow world of the lake bottom, I led the way in what I hoped was the direction of the cave. My heart was leaping like a wild thing. My stomach was like a lump of lead as I dreaded what we might or might not find. Weak-kneed and trembling as we found the underwater cavern, I forced myself to lead Doc inside. We were both on the edge of panic as we moved through the ominously pressing silence of the swirling water. Dun, dun, dun. The horrible sight that we gazed down upon in the dimness of the underwater cave was too much for the doctor. His legs gave way, and he would have fallen if I hadn't caught him. All that remained of his beloved Lola was a nest of old bones and the flowing mane of her long red hair. Her foot had been pinned down by a twisted root. The doctor quickly recovered. What? Before I could get him to leave, he insisted on one farewell gesture. He slipped the ring back onto what had once been Lola's finger. Well, after that, we lost no time making our way to the surface again, both trembling like a hound dog in a ghost moon. We emerged into the welcome warmth of daylight and climbed back onto the pier. Hurry, Doc, we've got to get rid of this diving equipment before somebody spots us and starts asking a lot of questions we can't answer. What? I mean, you bought it at that sporting goods store and... okay, what? Well, we dressed and returned to Dr. Manning's office, where we talked the whole thing over and decided that neither of us would mention the matter to anyone ever. It was better that way. We did not want to be branded as madmen. In a few minutes, then, I started to leave. It was a horrible shock, Roy, but in some ways I feel better already, as though a weight was lifted from my mind. Sometimes I wonder if we humans, even doctors, know anything about life or death. Goodbye, Roy. So long, Doc. As I left the doc's office, I too felt strangely at peace. I somehow didn't think I'd have any troubles leaving again. And as I walked back to the lodge, I seemed to hear Lola's soft, sad voice whispering in my ears, "Thank you, Roy." Back at Loon Lake Lodge, I packed and quickly left. The sunset was spreading an eerie glow over everything, and the wind was sighing through the trees. I fought off the chill that shook me, and I knew that I would never come here again. And I walked away. I didn't even look back. I didn't dare. The end. Well, there you go, Sometimes when you go out on a night swim, you swim with the ghost of some dead broad. Funny how he didn't notice her corpse stuck in there and when he went in the cave first time, but oh well. And now, True Tales of Unexplained Mystery. Number 3. I suppose 1 and 2 was in the other issue. Probably was, but I've long forgotten. It was a dreary day in London on October 18th, 1902, when elderly Graham Hillard passed away after a long siege of illness. Many were those who came to mourn at his funeral, for it was expected that the generous Hillard would leave many heirs. Several days later, many friends, relatives, and servants were called into the Hilliard Library for the reading of the will. "And to my ever-faithful cook, Mary Standish, I leave £5,000.
Mr. Hilliard was a generous man."
But suddenly a strange thing happened. Great Scott, look, the portrait. The smile has changed to a frown. Why, you're right. But what? How?
It's an evil omen.
What do you make of it, Leslie? I'm not sure, but I know my uncle believed in the occult. This may be some message he's trying to send us from beyond the grave. Perhaps something about the circumstances of his death. I think he should be disinterred.
No, it's sacrilegious.
At Leslie Hilliard's insistence, the body,
At Leslie Hilliard's insistence, the body of Graham Hilliard, his uncle, was taken from the grave and sent to the local coroner's laboratory.
Being in extreme ill health, it had been assumed that your uncle died naturally. However, my autopsy shows he was
Poisoned!
You mean murdered? Well, yes. But how? By whom?
After brief questioning, Graham Hilliard's private nurse was immediately ruled out as a suspect. Then,
you were the only one who prepared his food. Admit it. You administered the poison.
All right, I did it. I knew he was leaving me money, and I wanted it sooner. But he was going to die anyway.
by her confession, Mary Standish was sentenced to life imprisonment. Later, back at the library.
See? The portrait is smiling again. Have you changed your mind about the existence of strange powers?
I'm confused, and yet I saw it happen. How can anyone explain an occurrence without any possible explanation? Who can explain the strange incident of a portrait whose subject's smile when seen to change to a frown for one brief moment, until his murder should be investigated? Just another unexplained mystery in the annals of the supernatural. The end. This is posited as if it were based on a true story. It seems rather unlikely. So let's move on to Legacy of the Accursed. It's beyond me. I just can't diagnose his illness. I've given him several transfusions, but it doesn't seem to be enough, and he refuses to tell me what happened in Bavaria.
He's going fast. There's nothing we can do.
They were a superstitious lot, the inhabitants of the little town of Glencara, Scotland, believing in ghosts, vampires, and the lake. But some would say they had good cause, for to them the menace of the moors was very real. It all seemed to start about the time that old Aaron Leggett lay dying in Leggett Castle at the edge of the moors, from some strange disease he contracted while vacationing in Bavaria.
Oh, Doctor! Come quickly! I think he's...
Eh? Great Scott! Looks like he's fainted.
No, not fainted. He's dead.
Ah, too bad. I fear we'll never know the cause now. He wasn't too old, you know, in his early 50s. Several hours later in London, Aaron's niece received a telegram from Aaron's lawyer, Silas Hammond.
Oh, Jeff, how dreadful! Uncle Aaron's dead. I must go to Scotland at once for the funeral.
Wait a minute, darling. It's a long trip, and you'll have to pack some things. Wait till tomorrow. I'll go along.
And the next day...
It's so odd. The telegram said I was his only heir, but I'd only seen him once in my life. And I was so young then, I don't even remember what Uncle Aaron looked like.
He must have fallen for you at first sight, just like I did.
That's disgusting.
Oh. Right.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Thank goodness we're here, although I'm sorry we had to miss the services. Excuse me, I'm Maureen Leggett. I'm afraid I've arrived a little late.
You've come a long way. Mr. Hammond has requested that you stay at Leggett Castle. He will contact you there shortly. But that night, as Maureen and Jeff were made comfortable at Leggett Castle, all was not peaceful at the cemetery. Eh? What's that noise? Sound like a prowler. Pam, pam, pam. Hoot, moon! 'Tis some ghouls at work, no doubt. They've made off with the corpse of Aaron Leggett.
It's some bat demon. I mean, whatever.
No, no,
The next morning, the lifeless body of the watchman was found.
Horrible, horrible.
Who could have committed such an outrage?
Look at the marks on his throat. 'Twas a vampire. I dislike adding to your grief, Miss Leggett, but I thought you'd want to know whoever it was killed the watchman also dug up your uncle's body and stole it.
How terrible! Please keep me informed of any new developments.
Early that evening, a phone call came for Maureen.
Oh, yes, Mr. Hammond, yes, I've been awaiting your call.
I've been away on business a while. I'll drop in on you a little later this evening. By the way, it was your uncle's wish that the servants be discharged on his demise. Will you please take care of it immediately?
Much later, after discharging the servants, Maureen admitted a caller.
Miss Leggett, I'm Silas Hammond, your uncle's lawyer. I'm sorry I couldn't get here sometime during the day.
I understand, Mr. Hammond. You must be very busy.
Wait, that mirror! Take it away! Where did it come from?
I noticed that there were no mirrors in the entire castle, and I found this one in the storeroom and decided it would be an improvement. But what's wrong?
Excuse me for becoming so excited. It was your uncle. He detested mirrors, just an idiosyncrasy. He even made it part of his will. No mirrors are ever to hang in Leggett Castle.
Oh, I'll remove it at once.
Now, for the will. Your uncle leaves you everything with only two conditions. One, his room, now locked, is never to be entered. And the second, a mirror is never to hang in Leggett Castle.
It's so strange, but all right.
As long as you adhere to the conditions of the will, you have nothing to fear. Here are the keys to the castle, except for the one to your uncle's room. He ordered that it be destroyed. It's beginning to rain. Well, I must be off. I have some important business to attend to. Good night.
But you'll be drenched. At least allow me to lend you an umbrella. It's a long walk across the moors.
But as Hammond headed down the wet, muddy path, Maureen noted an odd phenomenon.
That's funny. The ground is soft and muddy from the rain, but Mr. Hammond doesn't seem to leave any footprints. Oh, Jeff, a strange thing has just happened.
Forget it, darling. Now's the time to celebrate. We're rich. Let's see how Uncle Aaron kept his wine cellar stocked, eh?
Down the winding stone stairway, in and into the wine cellar they went.
Well, the old boy was certainly well stocked. And look at this, another room. Bet he kept his best stuff in here. It's locked.
Maybe one of the keys will fit it.
Oh, look! Great Scott! The place looks like a morgue. Pam, pam, pam. He's not dead. He seems to be in a coma. Look at the ring he's wearing. The initials. S.H.
S.H. Silas Hammond. But if this is Silas Hammond, who was the man who just left? Oh, Jeff, we'd better call the police.
Shortly after the police responded to a frantic phone call.
Well, I'll be. It's Silas Hammond.
The one who was the man who was here tonight claiming to be Silas Hammond? Then who was the man?
What did he look like?
Well, I'd say he was about 5'8", quite bald. His cheeks were sunken in, and he had a thin, bony nose and dark, sunken-in eyes. His physique was average.
Why, that's a description of Aaron Leggett.
What does it all mean?
It means your uncle is not dead. He's a vampire. See those teeth marks on Hammond's throat? It was the same with the watchman.
That's ridiculous. Vampires don't exist.
Oh, no? Then how do you explain the murder of a young girl on the moors before I got here tonight? She had those same marks on her throat.
On the moors? Why, that's where he was headed when he left.
Then that's where we must be hiding out. You men, call Glencara. Have a squad search the moors from the other side. We'll try to close in on him from here.
Do you mind if I join you? You'll need all the help you can get.
I don't know. It isn't safe to leave Miss Liggett here alone.
Oh, she'll be all right, won't you, dear? After all, he won't be heading back in this direction while we close in on him.
Of course. I'll be all right. But this is all such a shock.
Yeah, you'll get over it, don't worry.
For several hours, the small group carefully combed the moors for any sign of the menace.
Found anything yet?
Not a sign. It'll be daylight soon.
Suddenly, a great flurry of wings was heard.
Great Scott, Chief! Look, up there!
A bat! It must be him! It's headed toward the castle!
Come on after it, Maureen's all alone in the castle!
Well, yeah, because you left her there, remember? Stupid! We told you not to...
But the hideous beating wings soon outdistanced the fumbling men, and soon at the darkened castle.
What? Who's there? You! Then it is true. Don't come any closer. I'll scream.
It will avail you little. I left them scampering over the moors. Besides, is that the attitude to take towards your uncle?
Stay away. Help! Help!
There is no escape for you. They can't hear you, Maureen. Looks as though you've trapped yourself, my dear.
Ooh.
Ah, she's fainted. 'Twill make it that much easier to draw her blood. What's that? Voices.
Maureen! If he's harmed you,
Dial, there he goes, through the window.
Oh, Jeff, it was horrible.
Got away. Seems to have flown around the corner of the castle.
Wait, I have it. There's room, down the hall. It's growing light, and vampires can't exist in daylight. It's locked. We'll have to break it down. Again. There.
The chamber was entirely bare, except for a lone coffin. Quickly, Jeff opened it, and inside...
There's your vampire. Now open the drapes and let the sun in.
I don't understand. Why?
I always thought vampires existed only in books, but I also heard there were two ways to kill them. You can pierce a stake through their heart, but that's disgusting. Who wants to do that? And exposure to sunlight. The latter is most effective because it destroys them most completely.
It's incredible.
And to think just a few minutes ago he tried to kill me.
There's nothing to worry about now, sweetheart. And after tonight's adventure, you can live in the castle without fear. The affliction your Uncle Aaron caught in Bavaria, which made a vampire of him, has been destroyed with the disintegration of the corpse. It's all over now. The end. But don't you think she'll remember that he just left her there to go hang out with the guys? Yeah. Oh, well.
Time now for another bit of True Tales of Unexplained Mystery. Number 4. On a cold winter's day in 1879 in the North Atlantic, the freighter Liverpool Lucy was cutting through the icy waters on its voyage from England to Labrador. From above, Captain Garcy instructed First Mate Janey to fetch some important papers from his cabin. What? When Janey entered the captain's cabin, "Here now, what are you doing in the captain's cabin, eh? Who are you? Well, why don't you answer me?" Frightened by the ghost-like apparition, Janey immediately returned to the bridge. Garcy? I thought it was Gacy. All right. "Captain Garcy, sir. There's a strange man in your cabin. He looked like a ghost, he did. And he's not one of the crew either." "What nonsense is this, Mr. Janey? We have no passengers." At Janey's insistence, Captain Garcy returned with him to the cabin.
"He's gone, sir. But I saw him. Seated at your desk he was. Sir, plain as day, and he was writing."
"Well, there's no one here now. Wait. On the desk. There's a piece of paper there."
"Why, all it says is steer west-northwest, sir. But that would take us off of our course. What's it mean, sir?"
"I don't know, Mr. Janey. I don't know. But there's something very strange here. Instruct the pilot to steer west-northwest immediately." For several hours the Liverpool Lucy steered on a west-northwest course. Suddenly Captain Garcy raised his binoculars.
"Summon all hands, there's a boat adrift. Looks like the men are near frozen. Prepare to take 'em aboard."
The shipwrecked men were soon brought aboard, wrapped in blankets, and given hot coffee. Suddenly, Janey made a discovery.
"Captain Garcy, it's him. He's the man I saw in your cabin. He's the one who wrote the note."
"Huh? Then it wasn't a dream?"
"What do you mean?"
"Some hours back I fell asleep in the boat. I dreamed I was in some captain's cabin writing directions on how to save us. All I wrote was, 'Steer west-northwest.'"
This is one of the strangest cases of dream transference on the record. No one involved in this unusual occurrence could offer a solution to the mystery. How would you explain it, readers? The end. Well, it's probably one of those stories people tossed about and gets more exaggerated as time goes by. Yeah. But what about the unseen host?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was murdered. Sounds crazy. Well, maybe I'd better tell you the whole story, and you can judge for yourself. It was a cool autumn day, and I, Hank Reynolds, owner of a small, successful publishing company, was leaving early to go on a hunting trip for the weekend. I bid my office staff goodbye, little knowing what was in store for me.
"So long, Mr. Reynolds. Don't forget to bring back a deer for me."
"No can do, Dottie. I'm going for mallards this trip." "Deer? Mallards? What's the death? So you'll invite the whole gang over for a duck dinner when you get back. Good luck, boss." That was last Thursday. When I returned to the office Monday morning, I was in for quite a shock. Nobody's here. Today isn't a holiday. I wonder why. But that wasn't half as strange as what I found when I approached my office door. Say, what is this? Looks as if someone's got the idea that I'm dead. What's that wreath doing on my door? As I turned to leave, my eye was suddenly attracted to the headlines of last Friday's newspaper on my secretary's desk. What's this? Train wreck kills 14? I haven't heard about any train wrecks. Why, this is about the train I took. But that's impossible. I was on the train. It happened at 1:30 a.m. Now, I was sleeping at the time. I certainly would have awakened if there was a wreck. Oh, here's a list of casualties. This should straighten the whole thing out. Hey, my name! It's there! And my funeral is supposed to be today. I decided to go to the funeral parlor and see what was going on. This entire business is ridiculous. I certainly wouldn't be here if I were dead. Before I left, I paused for a moment to straighten my tie in front of the mirror. Imagine my consternation as the mirror reflected no image. What? The mirror? I'm not there. Say, what's going on here anyway? Am I supposed to be a ghost? I had to settle this once and for all, as my offices were on the second floor. I had rarely, if ever, taken the elevator. But now I pushed the button. I had to see and talk to someone in person. Hello, Jimmy. How are you feeling this morning? Thought I'd ride down this time instead of walking. People sure are funny, always in a hurry. First they ring the buzzer, then they decide to walk down. He can't see me. I leaped through the doors before they slammed shut and tried to strike up a conversation with Jimmy, the elevator boy. But I was ignored. It was as if I weren't there. Shame about Mr. Reynolds getting killed in that wreck. He was a nice guy. Yeah, tough break. I was a nice guy. Those words rung in my ears. I tried to hail a cab outside, but I guess the hackies couldn't see me either. I decided to walk to the funeral parlor. Cab, hey cab, over here. Oh, it's no use. When I finally got there, I had already anticipated what I would find. All element of surprise was exhausted within me. There's Martha, my secretary, and the rest of my office staff. As I stood there next to Martha, I wondered if I were the only man ever to attend his own funeral. With all those who wish to view the body for the last time, please step forward. This is it. Now they'll be able to see it's not me. Then a strange thing happened. As Martha stepped out into the aisle, she seemed to pass right through me. Why doesn't this line move faster? The way they're moving up front, they seem to see just what they expected. My body, but it can't be in there. But when I looked into the coffin, my worst fears were confirmed. It was my body. It was true. I was dead. And yet, somehow, I still couldn't accept the fact. Even the sight of my own body lying there, still in death, couldn't penetrate. There was only one person I could turn to, Brad Patton, my lawyer and old college roommate. I'd known Brad over 12 years. He was my closest friend, in addition to being my lawyer. Brad, he's my last hope. But why wasn't he at the funeral services? Hello, Brad. Listen, this is Hank. Something crazy's going on. Hello. That's strange. There's no one at the other end. Brad, it's me. It's really me. Believe me, I'm not dead. But I need your help, Brad. Brad, can you hear me? He hung up. What can I do? Brad is the only one who can help me, but he can't hear me. Maybe if I go over to his office. I ran as fast as I could, but when I entered Brad's outer office, I heard a surprising thing. Miss Gaines, I want you to contact all of Mr. Reynolds' business associates and executive staff. Tell them I want them here tomorrow afternoon for the reading of Mr. Reynolds' will. I was shocked at this turn of events. Shocked because I knew that I had never made a will. Since I first went into the publishing business, I let Brad handle all of my legal affairs. He was always handing me papers to sign. What's this? More technical documents? You'll have to sign them if you want to stay in business, Hank. I've gone over them. They're okay. And I always had trusted Brad. I didn't know the contents of 1/10 of the papers I signed. And if Brad had my will, he either forged it or tricked me into signing it.
But why?
Well, if you say they're okay, they're okay.
Why, after 12 years of such close friendship, would Brad deliberately trick me into signing a false will? We were like brothers, and
Oh, I'm jumping to conclusions. I'll wait till tomorrow afternoon and see.
it seemed like an eternity till the next afternoon, but I was there waiting, invisible to Brad's eyes.
Mr. Reynolds' business.
Mr. Reynolds' business associates and executive staff are here, Mr. Patton. Shall I send them in?
Yeah, please do. I called you all down here for the reading of Hank's will because most of you were an integral part of his business, and maybe under the assumption that with Hank's death the business will dissolve.
Well, I'll be. It is my signature.
I felt helpless in my present state. I couldn't be seen or heard. I could do nothing to prevent Brad from carrying out his diabolical plot.
And you know, he had no living relative. Having gone through college with Hank, I was his closest friend.
So that was it. No living relatives. No one to contest the will, which no doubt left every earthly possession to Brad.
I therefore leave everything I own, business and personal, to my dearest and oldest friend, Brad Patton.
Suddenly, a new turn of events cropped up in the form of a newspaper in the hands of Brad's secretary.
Miss Gates, I thought I left specific instructions and I was not to be interrupted.
But this story in the afternoon paper, I was sure you'd want to see it.
And now the whole malignant plot came out.
And listen to this. After a 4-day investigation, definite evidence has been found, leading officials to believe that the train was deliberately wrecked by a time bomb.
Great Scott! Then it wasn't an accident. No, it wasn't an accident. It was a diabolically planned explosion. I wasn't the victim of an accident. I was murdered. And unless I miss my guess, the murderer is in this room right now.
Regardless of the facts, gentlemen, I want you all to know that I'll continue along with the business.
Then the proof of Brad's guilt hit me square in the face.
As Brad opened a desk drawer to file away the will, an act he wouldn't have performed had he known I was behind him, I saw several explosive caps gone to the trouble of destroying an entire train, killing 14 people just to get at me. I can't let him close that drawer. I can't.
Hang this jar. All it sticks on me.
I've got to hold it open. I've got to. Having some trouble? Maybe I can help. I don't know whether my tugging did it or not, but I held on for all I was worth until...
No, don't bother. I'll have it fixed.
Oh, no bother at all. I say, what are you doing with explosive caps in your drawer? To convict him.
No, but it won't do you any good.
No, drop it.
As Brad was taken into custody, I suddenly felt myself grow lighter and lighter, and I began to rise. I felt that I had remained on earth for some specific job, and that now the job had been done. I had trapped my murderer. Now I could rest in peace.
The end.
Well, there you go, Sometimes these things, it never happens, but, it's a story.
And now it's time for the Midnight Marauder.
Oui, Monsieur Walsh. Bet is turned out. I would not hunt here myself, but if you insist, Francois will go anywhere with you.
Do you believe in this fantastic...
do you believe in this fantastic legend, Francois?
Francois has been seeing wolves ever since he came to French Canada. It's an old wives' tale. It's meant to frighten hunters from good game reserves.
It was a hunter's paradise. The guide told them. The game was so thick you didn't even have to aim. But those French-Canadian wilds hid a monstrous secret, a beast which hunters were powerless to kill, a creature of deadly cunning who hunted the hunters. What? Mark Duran and his party were skeptics until confronted with the savage horror which terrorized the outskirts of Turandot, a village where no man dared hunt.
"Alas, here are the keys to the hunting lodge, but if you take my advice, do not hunt there. There have been too many victims, brave men just like you."
Exactly. What is this crawling horror?
"We, the horror, it is Lupo, a giant wolf nobody can kill. He is quite cunning, ferocious, and when he attack, he slash the throat. Finish. 5 throats he have slashed in the past year."
If it hadn't been for Findrick the cobbler, they would have shaken the dust of Turandot off their feet.
Again Pierre's belly shake with fear. Bah! Do not listen to him. Hunting here is good, and 1 chasseur is better than 10 wolves.
"One day you will not laugh, Findrick, when Lupo find your throat."
I've had enough. Let's go to the lodge. Soon.
"Oh, Mark, this place is lovely. It would be ideal for our honeymoon after we're married."
Anything your heart desires, princess. I can see you're not afraid of the big bad wolf. So what's saying we look the game over before it gets dark? A half hour later, they were deep in the Turandot wilds. Or maybe it's Turandot. I don't know. I don't know who's talking. Look at these tracks, Mr. Wallace. The forest is full of deer, beaver and deer. And they're fresh, too. We ought to have a field day. In the excitement of the chase, they became separated. Got him! A 5-point buck, and what a beauty! I wonder where Laura and Mr. Walsh are. Suddenly,
E.R. That scream. It sounds like Laura. She's in trouble.
"That beast killed Francois. Now he's after Laura. My bullets don't hurt him at all. I've hit him 3 times.
"Help! Help!"
If bullets won't kill him, I'll crack his skull. Arr! Arr! It's got the strength of a lion. Ow!
Look out, Mark. Watch those fangs."
Finally, the horrid spectre was driven off.
Laura, darling, are you all right? Speak to me, Laura.
"Oh, Mark, that horrible beast! And it bit you. And Francois."
Don't look, Laura. It isn't pretty. Francois is dead.
"They warned us in Turandot. We shouldn't have come. Oh, take me away from here, Mark. I can't stand it."
Back at the lodge a few hours later.
"Laura is resting. It'll do her a world of good after what she's been through today. Say, that's a nasty gash that beast gave you."
I still can't believe it. It wasn't a wolf, but it wasn't human either.
"I've studied some of these legends, and as you saw with your own eyes, there's a lot of truth in that. Listen, a wolf howl.
I feel so strange. Something out there is calling to me. I must go.
Mark, don't go out there. It's that horrible thing."
Let me go. Get out of my way or I'll...
"Mark, come back. Great Scott. He's begun to change into that awful beast form."
"Dad, what happened? I heard that noise." Ben, that beastly howl. Where's Mark?
Well, Mark heard that wolf howl and went out after it. He wants to destroy it.
Walsh waited all night for Mark to return. Then at dawn, Mark appeared.
This loathsome thing. I know my body changed. I haven't any more control. You must help me. It was the bite on your arm. It's still fresh. Werewolf's venom is working on you. He has you under his control. I'll try to help you, Mark. I'm going to mold a bullet from this piece of silver on my watch chain. I've read that only silver bullets can kill a werewolf.
Later.
May this destroy the werewolf and give you release from his evil spell, Mark.
I hope with all my heart it does. Now, let's go hunt the cursed thing before Laura wakes up.
We last saw the werewolf over here. They never wander far. Mark, where are you going? Good heavens, Laura is alone. I must get back to her. There's no telling what Mark will do in his state.
Help! Get that monster away! Mark! Dead!
I can't fire. I don't want to kill Mark. I'll try stoning him. Rawr, rawr, rawr. It's working. I hope he returns to human form soon. I can't keep Laura in the dark much longer.
An hour later.
Oh, Mark, where have you been? The lodge was attacked by that same beast. Father came in just in time. I was so worried about you.
I was after that horror. Couldn't seem to find him. I'm glad you're all right, Laura, darling. Mr. Walsh, you must do something fast. I have no control. Guard her closely, and if it becomes necessary, kill me. You understand that? Kill me. If only we knew who the werewolf was. It's me. No, I mean the other one. What's his human form? We could catch him, you know.
The next morning, Laura wanted to have a pair of boots repaired, so the hunters drove into Turandot.
Well, here we are.
I have a funny sensation in my body. So strange. I felt it as soon as we stopped here. So, you did stay after all. I told you it was all nonsense. Not exactly. We've seen this awful creature, Lupo, and our guide, Francois, was killed. The villagers were right.
Mark, what's the matter? Why are you running away?
He looks like he saw Lupo himself. Maybe he did. That queer feeling he spoke about in front of the shop.
Some time later, they picked Mark up on the road to the lodge.
I felt sick in that storm. I don't know what came over me. Forgive me, Laura.
It has been horrible, but we'll leave this place tomorrow and forget all about it.
When Mark and Mr. Walsh were alone,
the wound hasn't even begun to heal.
The wound hasn't even begun to heal. It's uncanny about the cobbler's shop.
I rushed out because I thought I would be transformed. That Fendrick is an odd character. We'll watch Fendrick's shop tonight. I suspect him. Those eyebrows of his are a clue. We can't leave a stone unturned before we leave Turandot.
That night, what are we going to do with that cord, Mr. Walsh?
You'll have to submit to tying. If Fendrick is a werewolf, you'll be drawn to him like a magnet. It's the only way to save you from,
The light's gone out. The door is opening. Mr. Walsh, let me go. I must go.
Stop struggling, Mark, and for heaven's sake, keep quiet. It's Fendrick. He's the werewolf, and he's coming toward us. For Mark's sake and Laura's future, I can't afford to miss.
Rawr, rawr, rawr. Let me go.
He's coming to claim his victim. It's now or never.
Rawr.
The bullet found its mark. The beast is hobbling away, back to the cobbler's shop. What happened? The horror disappeared. I feel such a strange release. The spell is finally broken. I killed the werewolf. I think I did. He ran away and disappeared. Let's get away from here.
The next morning, they packed to leave the Turandot terror behind them. Look, Mr. Wash, the wound is almost completely healed. I've been released from the werewolf's clutches.
Oh, Mark, don't forget to stop for my boots and Turandot.
Reveals the whole thing right in front of her, but she doesn't notice.
What's the crowd and the police doing near Fendrick's shop?
Fendrick is dead, shot with the bullet in the heart. It is all very strange. Do they know how it happened? Who killed him? No, nobody knows. But the doctor found a silver bullet in his heart. Imagine a silver bullet.
Several days later, back in New York.
Oh, I'm so glad you're all right again, Mark. By the way, Dad, whatever became of that silver charm you used to wear on your watch chain?
The silver charm? I must have lost it in Turandot. Dear, yes, it's certainly in Turandot. The end. Well, there you go. Boy, what a bunch of really great messed up stories, you know. So, oh boy, a surprise contest. Win a cash prize for just a short letter of not more than 150 words telling us which story you like best, second best, third best, and why. Also, which other magazines you read regularly. Send it to us postmarked no later than March 5th, 1951. Well, you're going to need a time warp to get this done. But anyway, along with your name and address and age, in case of a tie, duplicate prizes will be awarded. Do it now! Hurry! So you send it to Web of Mystery, 23 West 47th Street, New York, 19, New York City. Well, anyway, there you go. So, yeah, what was the best story? Was it the ghost of the dead lady in the lake? Was it the ghost who came back home from a trip? Was it the werewolf? Or what about the Uncle Bat, you know, who apparently was creeping on that girl since she was, you know, yeah, whatever. And now for our sponsor. New Magic Panel features slims like magic. Looks slimmer, more useful. Reduce your appearance. I mean your midsection. So you wear this thing, see? And you pull it tight and learn how not to breathe. And then you're going to look thin and attractive. And maybe you'll find a mate so that you can fulfill the only reason you're here. To reproduce. That's right. Failure to do so means you're a failed human being. You wasted the air you breathed while you were here. Anyway, why diet? Try it. Yeah, you don't need to diet. Eat what you want. Just squeeze everything in the middle. Takes inches off tummy, raises abdomen, and keeps it in. Like magic, it brings in waste. Makes spreading hip lines conform to firm beauty, smooths and slims thighs. Oh, yeah. Makes your clothes fit beautifully. Well, there you go. What are you waiting for? All you got to do is send it in to Figure Adjuster Company, Department 194, 318 Market Street, Newark, New Jersey. And there you go. It says, yes, please rush Figure Adjuster on approval. If not delighted, I may return girdle within 10 days. I will pay postman $4.98 plus postage. I enclose $5 cash, check, or money order. Send postage prepaid. There you go. Oh, boy. So don't forget to fill it all out, what color you want, the second color choice, the size panty you wear, girdle, I don't know. and your name and address. Oh, boy, so all you got to do is screen cap that. And you're on your way to looking like a slimmer you. This is for women only, you understand? Yeah. I don't want to think about any of you other people there. Anyway, there we go. We've gotten through this horrific Tales of the Supernatural Horror. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to sleep later, huh? Yeah. So, there you go. That was this episode of Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. Web of Mystery number 2. And oh, look, we know what the cover was talking about now. Yeah. But I don't see the guy that killed him, though. It's not him. It's not that dude. So, guess he hadn't shown up yet. Anyway, oh, that's right. He didn't go to the funeral. Oh, yeah. Murderous bastard. Well, anyway, there we are. Another delightful, well, okay, maybe not so delightful. Another, well, it was a collection of stories. Another collection of stories from your pal, me, Mr. Nailsin, on this episode of Sunday Comics. All right, that concludes the comic book Web of Mystery number 2. I guess the first one's somewhere on my channel. I'd forgotten all about it, but well, there it is. So I don't know. Some of the stories weren't too bad. I mean, they're all kind of weird. But boy, that first one, really appropriate that it all took place at Loon Lake. Yes, pretty loony. So there you go. I think it worked out. So anyway, so everybody's saying good morning. Good morning. His medical school ring is a skull. Yes. It's like, oh, sure. Why not? The old sailor is a student of the Monroe Institute. Lousy way to find out you died. Read about it in the paper. Yeah, I mean... Yeah. And then, you know, it looked like he was kind of late for his funeral, you know, but I guess he was there in enough time. Cab drivers ignore everybody. That's true. Yeah, that shouldn't have been. He's like, that cab driver ignored me. I must be a ghost. No, I needed a little more clue than that. And then he decided the only one he could really turn to was his lawyer. Oh, man. Come on. Anyway. Left all his money to public television. They'll do anything to collect their pledges. Yeah. Alexander K1S says, the pervy bat was best. Yeah, that boy, man, that was really creepy because it was the girl's uncle. Yeah, that wasn't great. I probably... Well, too late. That's what they did anyway. So Susan Nola says, thank you for these golden age goodies. You're welcome, Susan. Technically speaking, I think this one was from 1951. But, you know, kind of fits. That's still pretty early. But there we go. So next week, I don't know. I'll pick something else. We'll see how that goes. Alexander says, thanks for the horror comic. You're welcome. Thank you for watching the show and all that goody gumdrop stuff. And, well, I guess that'll do it. That'll do it for this edition of Mr. Nailsin's Sunday Comics.